So me and my uncle have been in this morning and done about as much as we can really before it goes off to Matt Simpson's for exhaust. Take no notice of the diff. Obviously we've just put it in so he knows where he's going with his exhaust. It obviously will be painted and moved on. We haven't painted it because we're not sure 100% A, what colour, and B, if it's right ratio, so we don't want to be messing it about when we take it apart, like i.e. chipping it, etc. So people that wanted to know about the drivetrain, what we have is obviously diff here is following the drive. We have another box that fits in here. So the output then will come from here on a drive shaft to here with CVs on, and obviously through the drivetrain. That will be a reverse box and it'll be back down to 1-to-1 as well. So that's how that works that way. Prop through the centre. And then obviously like this one again, it'll have your drive shaft down to that other centre bearing there. So the prop will just stay to the side and then like I say back out the back out the tunnel. Into the other drive box which Jamie is on with, Jamie Jodd DRD. I think he's on it today, he says. So everything back on then, got our brakes back on, calipers back on. Found my clock, got both sets of clocks in, handbrake etc. Excuse it being dirty, but it is being put together. Wheels on, look at these. She looks booty. Obviously the biggest thing is motors and drive box in. Master cylinder tops up there. Battery, rack, motors. We got some plates to go on the top that Jamie's done for us. Airbox, we're still not 100% sure what we're going to do yet, how we're going to get them in. Water pipes are just sat in. Pipes that we had on the shelf for one of our twin class 7s. That one just looks a bit like he's out in the open, but he's not, because by the time you get your cowl on and then your fan here, obviously you can clip that back up then, and then it'll obviously look quite right. We've pulled it down to where we think it's going to sit with all the weight in, so about sort of 6.5, 7 inches off the ground. Probably go a bit lower really, but springing don't actually feel too bad on 325s on the front. Master cylinders are in, nice and tight. A little bit of local modification on the bottom of it for the clutch, but we have a gap, so where am I looking now? Oh, there we go. There you go. So yeah, all on. Steering back on, worked out, geometry's right. Don't have any bumps there once it's back down to where we need to be, which is good. Like I said, rad's in, cowl will be done by Gareth, GJP. We'll put a blanker on here. There's no need, we don't need anything for it. Blanker on. So next week, when everybody's back to work properly, I'll order some gear cables up and some brake lines and get them all through. We'll get these back off and get them painted, so don't worry about that. Again, stuff like that, I wanted to get all the weight in, so I got all the measurements right and the angles, etc, etc. I have made a couple of cock-ups. One, as you can see, forgot to send the bloody cover off to paint, so they've got one over there going to do for me. Like I said, these will be changed, so they'll be purple anodised, just to break that up. And the other thing is, sump issue on the front motor. We just got to modify the sump, probably less than 5mm to be honest, just to pull it in a little bit, just in case we have any movement. We shouldn't, but the last thing you need to do is just have a bit of movement and it crack. So I just decided to get it modified rather than risk it. But yeah, as you can see, she's just about ready to go to Matt. Yeah, it should be quite easy for him to work on, hopefully, considering what we normally send there and expect him to do. We'll bring headers out into sort of the wing area, around into here, into a collector, and then straight down into here, so it goes 4.2, and then into a collector here off both engines. So the exhaust will come out this side, again into the wing. Headlight will obviously sit in here, so he can't go that way, but it will just sweep here, so he can sweep round here and off and into here, and then there's tons of room here, so he can drop his collectors in and then out through the tunnel, there, and out he goes. So it's not too bad a job, I wouldn't have thought. I'm sure he'll put me in my place if it's not. Come out here, already put a bracket on to support it, and one on the front, put some rubbers on, etc. And then it'll just follow this up here, and then probably across the top, and maybe out here, out through there, and then down, and then into the silencer, just one silencer on one side. Yeah, easily explained and probably a lot more difficult to do, but they'll do it. That's it. And that's it. Job done. Obviously, all these alley parts, we'll probably get these done, anodised up. Brian Erridge, Orchard Engineering, is making me a couple of them up for me. Yeah, that's it. Tidy. Thanks, peeps. Ta-da.